So all right, so back to the original question. Like, so if someone walks through your door, what do they need to be prepared to tell you, and like what are you considering?
Yeah, there's two main types of cases when you analyze them, right? There's one case that has like a victim complainant. I'm gonna use the term interchangeably. I use the term is complainant, but people. They
I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm telling you what happened. Exactly. So one, there was someone like basically went to the police and someone who did, right? So if someone went to the police, there is a higher standard. It's not even if the person lied, the police are usually going to be covered 90% of the time. So you got there has to be, and I don't want to get too complex, but it's a lot more difficult. Just put it like that.
Yeah, because they're relying on the identified citizen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which presumed reliable and presumed truthful.
Yeah.
So that means that same thing criminal law. So that means that this person was lying, and also two big things people gotta say about police that they don't understand. One, the police have no duty to investigate.
Right.
So the only reason they would have a duty,
and they don't.
They
exercise.
Yeah. They do what they gotta do, right?
So they don't.
I don't gotta do that shit.
They don't.
There's a limited exception, right?
You want to fight?
If the police are confronted with evidence that they know is like exculpatory, like they can't ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of time. That's why they'll say like, look, this woman said it. I didn't see, it was completely a lie. I didn't look at it.
Right.
I didn't hear anybody say anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for cops to ignore evidence that clears the person being arrested than it is for them to acknowledge it. Because when they acknowledge it, it may trigger more work.
Right.
But if they just ignore it and act like it never happened, they're straight.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They're protected.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also be protected. So they're saying like they're protected. So they're like, so a lot of times, like I tell you something, like if you watch Law and Order and that first person they arrest, that's always in real life. That's the person getting charged. It's no further investigation. Right. No. They're not doing the work in real life. Wait, he's not doing the work. No. Just go get another one. And they could care less. Right. I talk to a lot of cops. I say, how do you feel about the case being dismissed? How do you care about it? Look, that's not my job. They view it as a district attorney's job to decide who's guilty or innocent.
Which technically it is. Right?
Yeah, well, technically the law says that that if they know that someone probably didn't do the crime, then they have the obligation not to arrest them. They can care less.
Right.
So they don't care whether you did it or not. Mm-hmm. And they get money off it. So every arrest, you get paperwork. You get to do overtime. Mm-hmm. The overtime is a lot.
Yeah.
And so why would I mess up my overtime by not arresting this person? Mm-hmm. And again, no cop has ever been punished for a false arrest. I'm sorry, never happened. The only time, maybe they're punished if they kill someone. Maybe. Maybe. I would have. Oh, maybe. I would have hold my breath. I would hold my breath. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I can kill someone wrongly. Then maybe, but most of the time not. But it also beats you. I get so many cases they send people to the hospital. Happens daily, no issues, right? Mm-hmm. No one cares about that stuff. But, and definitely no one cares about putting innocent people in jail. Mm-hmm. That's just the way the law is. Like, right. No one cares,
So if there's identified citizen complainant, and it works the same, like you said, in criminal, if someone comes and has identified themselves, says this person did it, that's automatic probable cause. Mm-hmm. Now sometimes cops sit there depending on the case and try to get the person to, they will give the person a hard time and say, well, do we really want to go through with this? But they're probably going to arrest you.
Mm-hmm. They only give you a hard time if they care, though, right?
Well, they sometimes, I've had situations where I've made complaints for one thing or the other, and the fucking amount of rigmarole they did to make that case, to give me a complaint, because I needed for insurance purposes, was crazy. It was they were not trying to do anything with that case. But all right, so they
cops have no duty to enforce the law either. As a Supreme Court. So I know the subway tells you to talk to the cop. I mean they may help you. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying they got no duty.
Right. They can say no.
They can say no. Yeah. I'm busy on my phone.
Right.
So it's saying it was like, yo, because they wanted to sue the cops because he filed a complaint, nothing happened. It's like, They don't have to do that.
So that guy in that video who was holding the door, police, help, help, police. He was just wasting his time.
Yeah, I mean, they could have.
They could have. But
45 minutes
upstairs hearing that and been like, nah,
like it's a little too hot right now. Let me wait 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Cops.
That's the way it's written. You know,
but that's the federal. The states could say, the government could say they have an obligation, they have a duty, but they don't do that. Because again, you know, cops are. Other things that cops can be negligent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like cops are held to the lowest standard of anybody in this country. They don't even got another law.
Right.
They can they can arrest you for the wrong law. Right. It's like good faith, you know, he's trying his best.
Right.
It's like, why are you trying to
That's crazy.
They got cases where the cop is a search warrant, goes in the wrong house.
Yeah.
Recovers drugs. He's like, well, you know, he tried.
Right.
You know, like, number was the 5A for 5B. How are they supposed to?
Right.
You know, wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. They say good faith. And good faith is just cops lying. Like,
right.
You know, it's like good faith, whatever. Like you try. Like how you? Everyone in the world is held to a higher standard than the police. So do not expect too much. You know, that's what I'm saying. Because I know people victims of crimes and they're the most anti-police people you say because they're useless.
Right.
Useless. If you really a victim or someone's gonna come shoot you, they're like, that's not what we don't do that.
No, call us after this.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, we're not gonna if you hop the turnstile, we're gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? People be there. Yeah. I was thinking about this. I was like, you know, you don't want the TV. You always see the cops, you know, coming in, saving it. I was like, I've got thousands of cases, criminal, civil rights. I don't know if I've ever seen a case where a cop like saved somebody's life.
Right. Pulling out the burning building.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if I've ever seen one.
God damn.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Have you seen one?
No, I'm working at education system.
Like let me think. Like a domestic violence case
or something. But yeah, like all the DV cases are over.
Yeah.
I mean, I just never like to talk about it's in the midst of it. Like it's going down. Right. It's going down.
Cops.
They have a woman screaming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna save you, man. Like Superman.
I've seen them busting the door when they thought it was a DV, nothing was going on.
Okay.
Yeah. That happens all the time.
Yeah, that means what take a real weird. Right. But yeah, I've seen that.
Right.
But like, it's amazing how much you always hear them breaking it down the door when it's not happening, but never when it is happening. That's a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm trying to think. Like, well. Yeah, because by the time the cops get involved, it's always the situation is kind of like the beginning. They had a beginning, middle, and end, and now someone just has to get arrested. But it's not. It's rarely still happening.
I don't fucking trust the cops.
Yeah, you can't be like I'm not. I'm just telling you to like. It's not an anti-cop thing.
Right. It's just realize the system of what it is, not what you want it to be, what you think it is.
You be anti or pro. It don't make a difference. They're not coming.
Right.
It don't affect nothing.
Right.
All right. So, if there's an identified citizen complainant, does the standard change? Or okay. So, what are the two different standards?
So, the standard technically is the same, but if someone's what they call identified declarant, then it's presumed that there's probable cause.
Okay.
So, technically, with a arrest without a warrant. This is the Constitution. I'm not into the Constitution a lot because it does not apply. But technically,
that's crazy.
If you arrest someone without a warrant, it's presumed unreasonable, and the burden's on them to show it. But that's not how it usually plays out. But I'm just saying technically that's the law. And so when it comes to someone to identify the declarant, it's presumed that they have probable cause. So you have to show that not that they didn't have probable cause, they have to show that they were confronted with information that would lead a reasonable officer to think that what the person was saying was not true. And again, the most important part is they were confronted with that information. They don't have no duty to investigate. They don't have to look for the information. You could say, yo, like, if you had just opened up the closet, you would have found out that, like, the knife that I said was there that she had stabbed me with. Like, well, we don't have to open up the closet. You know, she came to us and said you had her. That's probable cause.
Yeah, that's probable.
So you know what I'm saying? And like, if you say here's a knife, she's trying to kill me with a knife. The knife is bloody. It's in the thing right there. You know. Now some courts may look at that and they say, well, maybe. maybe, they had to, but then they'd be like, they would say, hey, look, people lie all the time. Do we have to investigate every single lie? Now you can take I walk over there. But again, that's the type of thing that certain judges are going to disagree on, or certain circuits are going to disagree on. That's something that becomes a high risk case for a lawyer, because it's a little bit like, oh, some people could say yes, some people could say no. The law is not 100% on my side. So most people would say no to that case unless you were in jail for like 3 years, and then they'd be like, okay, it's worth it. But most of the time, if that happens, like 95% of lawyers going to say no, and the lawyers who say yes probably don't know what they're doing.
So for a false arrest case, it's going to come down to whether they have probable cause or not.
Yeah,
right?
and the probable cause is what a reasonable officer under the circumstances would believe that the information that they were presented with would believe that a crime is committed. So that's what probable cause is. And again, so that means every case has its own set of facts.
So what's like a common false arrest case? Like what do you typically see?
So there's two types. So that's type, and then there's other type where there's no, but the cops is a person who says you did something.
Okay.
So that is a lot easier. You said the cop's lying.
Okay.
And that's easy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the
Why the
cop,
fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
oh my God. There's nobody the cop to blame it on.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all it's all about like what the cop said. So you say the cop's full of it, and it's a lot easier. So basically, what they'll say, the cop will say, "Oh, I knew this and I knew that and I knew that when I arrested you for drugs or whatever," and they'll be like, "No, you didn't. You're just lying." Now it's harder. If somebody else says something, it's harder to say they're lying.
Right.
But if they say, you said they're lying. And that'll get you far enough in most circuits. That's all. It's not going to be everywhere and everywhere.